All right, so I'm gonna be honest. I've always been kind of an awkward guy growing up, and still kind of am a little bit. But I've been working on it, especially with these techniques I'm going to talk about in today's video. And like moments that really stick out to me of when this like lack of mindfulness and lack of like social awareness really come in were like examples of me seeing seniors that I used to wrestle with in like the gym, or just seeing people that I go to school with, outside of school, or seeing old friends of mine in like other places, similar to the first part. And two moments that really stick out for this were, I remember, I don't know exactly how old I was. I think I might have been in like sixth grade or something. And there was this guy. He was like two grades above me and my friend, and we see him at the library, and we're trying to go like talk to him or whatever. But I just remember it being like extremely awkward, and like I was trying to go for like a fist bump, and he was trying to dap up, and then I like tried doing the little like shimmy thing where you're like just like you don't know which one to go for. I don't know what happened. I probably ended up like doing something like this, and I just remember that, and I remember thinking like, what am I doing? Like I have no idea what this is. I felt completely out of it. I was just thinking about, okay, what should I say? What would make me, sound cool to this guy? Because he was older than me, I wanted to look cool for him, like, I just, it's just what you do. Like, when you see someone who's, like, older than you, you see an elder of yours, you're like, oh, I want to look cool. I want to look like, I'm grown now, because we knew each other for, like, we knew each other our entire childhood growing up. And I just wanted to look cool for him or whatnot, and just wanted me and my friend just pull up, be like, yo, what's up, man? How you been? But, like, it wasn't like that. And I remember another time I was at the gym, and I saw these like 2, 3 guys that went to my school, and we used to be good friends back in the day. I mean, as you grow up, you sort of disattach from certain people. It's nothing like bad. It's just like, we're just different people. And back then we were probably just friends because we were in the same class. But now we went to the gym, and I saw them, and we just like did not talk to each other. Like we were working like right next to each other. Like I was over here, I was on like the tricep pull downs, whatever. They were over there. They were using the same machine, but they were like, I don't know, probably bicep curling with the same thing or whatever. And I just remember in the moment, I was like, this is weird. I know they know me, and they know that I know that they know me, and I know that I know them. Like it just felt like you're trying not to talk to each other because you're like, this feels like we were like a couple fighting or whatever. You're just trying to ignore each other, but like, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. I see it all the time too. Like if I see someone that I go to school with in like the gym or whatever, for some reason I try to like avoid it because I feel like I'm gonna mess up. I feel like I'm gonna be awkward, and I feel like it's just gonna be weird. And that's something that lately I feel like I've been doing a much better job on because of mindfulness, because of meditation, because of just being aware of social situation and social setting. But it was a big problem for me, like not even that long ago. Honestly, I feel like it was like 3, 4 months ago ish that it was like kind of pretty awkward. And obviously the situation with the guy at the library, that was like a few years ago. But I feel like even compared to like 4 or 5 months ago, that version of me is like completely incomparable to who I was like a couple years ago. I feel like the self-improvement journey has just made my growth as a person just like exponential, and it's not even close. Hello, my name is Parth. Small self-improvement YouTube channel. Here are my credentials as a professional meditator, and I'm going to be talking to y'all about just the sort of benefits of meditation and the overall implications of what I've learned from the past few weeks of implementing different methods and different even breathing techniques. Like I didn't know that there was this much that goes into just breathing. I thought it was just like, I thought it was just simple as that, but no, there's a whole world of even breathing that can boost your productivity as a person, boost your athletic performance, boost your mental state, make you less stressed, all that stuff. And I had no, I knew the basic stuff when I was younger, like, oh, when you get mad or you get upset, just make sure you take a deep breath, take 3 deep breaths, and whatever else. Count. I think it was like take a deep breath, count to 10, or take like 10 deep breaths or whatever before you like react to a situation. But I never knew anything above that. And so with this new information, just want to bring it to y'all. Hope you guys find value in this, but let's get started. So back to the situations that I was talking about earlier in this video. I feel like a big issue was that I was not mindful. I was not present. I was worried about looking good, being awkward or whatever. I was looking at them as an opportunity rather than people. And I feel like that's where I messed up. And that's where meditation and mindfulness would have came into a much greater, it would have been much more beneficial to me in that moment. And so I want to take some time to go over what meditation is and exactly how to go about it, and how you, while practicing meditation, can at the same time recognize that you are benefiting your personal life and the other aspects of meditation. So with meditation, it's very simple. You keep your attention on the present moment, and essentially what that encompasses is just you sit down. You can do it standing, but I prefer sitting down. I feel like it's much easier when you're sitting down because you don't have to worry about it's not even like a worry. It's just like you're putting more energy, and therefore there's a greater chance of you going off task from the meditation when you're standing. I feel like if you're sitting down, it's just you're sitting and there's not much else there is going on. It's just you sitting. And so you should sit down, close your eyes. You just take deep breaths in and out. But I'm gonna go into this later. My mind's kind of like all over the place with this because there's just so much to unpack. But you're gonna start off with just breathing. You're just gonna breathe and you're gonna focus on the breath. Like it's hard to explain because you're so used to always thinking about something and you're so used to always like imagining stuff. But the way I go about meditation is I create like a little, you want to sort of visualize like a cartoon, maybe graphic-ish. And what I do is I just imagine when I'm inhaling, I just imagine there's like a glowing dot that like goes down. Like I imagine like the human body x-ray diagram thingy, and I just imagine it going down here into my stomach, and then it goes out like this way, like physically, because my stomach physically goes out when you're breathing, which is, again, another part that I'm going to get into very shortly. But that is essentially how I go about occupying my mind while I'm meditating. Even though you're not supposed to be occupying it, I think that this is probably the best method to go about meditation, as you're still visualizing the breath, you're still focusing on the breath. Because frankly, I don't understand how meditation is like you're just not supposed to think about anything except focusing on the breath, but that's my way of focusing on the breath. Meditation is about focusing on the breath. So that's my way of focusing on the breath, occupying my brain power to just focus on the breath and meditate. I talk about meditation a lot on this channel, and the reason for that is because meditation and mindfulness are simply the most important parts of your self-improvement, as they single-handedly impact every other branch of self-improvement that you can think of, with your business, with social skills, with your fitness, with your faith, with your, your school, whatever it is. Mindfulness and meditation will benefit all of that, because also connected to those 5 branches is a layer of like discipline. You have to be disciplined enough to succeed in all these branches, but discipline comes from mindfulness. You need to be attentive, and you need to be recognize that this is what you should be doing. This is what you need. And that's why mindfulness directly correlates with discipline, and discipline is what helps all 5 of these branches. So that's why I talk about mindfulness a lot. That's why I talk about meditation a lot. That's why I see it as so important, because it directly helps every other aspect of your self-improvement. I want to go over a quick chapter from The Way of the Superior Man by David Dita. It's a great book. Highly recommend you guys get it. I've read it once, and I plan on reading it again for the rest of my life, because it is a great book. It's sort of like a guidebook to just living. And so I'm gonna go over a chapter right now. So it says, chapter 45, breathe down the front. The front of your body, especially your belly, is the place where your energy meets the energy of the world. When the front of your body is open and relaxed, your power flows freely and your presence fills the room. You've probably been with people who seem to occupy more space in the room than most people. They seem to command attention, even though they are not doing anything obvious to attract it. The front of their body is so open that their energy flows freely through the room, magnifying their presence. Such people are remarkably relaxed, poised, and attentive. They are not all wrapped in their own self-concern, hunched over a sunken chest, gritting their teeth, and hardly breathing. This is the picture of a closed belly and chest. If the front of your body has accumulated tension throughout the day and throughout the years, you will hardly be able to sit up straight. Your belly and chest will be tight, your thoughts will center on yourself, the energy will remain constricted in your head, and your awareness limited to self-concern. Your powerful presence won't fill the room at all. You might not even be noticed. Right now, notice your breath. Is your belly rising and falling with your inhale and exhale like a mighty bellows? Your belly and lower abdomen are special places of power. If your breath does not reach these areas, you can't recharge your batteries. And it goes on more and talks about other specific parts of breathing. But essentially the main takeaway from this is just you should be breathing through your stomach. And that's what I was talking about earlier today. And I said I would talk about it later. But essentially you need to be breathing through your stomach. Your stomach should be going out and in with every breath. Now, there are a few times that this can't happen. I know for sure. It's like when you're doing like very cardio heavy exercises, like, for me it's the wrestling or running. I can't exactly breathe through my stomach with that unless I'm resting. But when it comes to like heavy exercises, I'm trying to breathe through my stomach as much as I can. When it comes to just life in general, I'm trying to breathe through my stomach as best I can, especially with meditation. That is where I breathe through my stomach the most, and that's a new skill I've been trying to upgrade when my meditation is breathing through my stomach instead of just breathing through my chest. I feel like when I breathe through my chest, I don't feel full, but when I breathe through my stomach, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like a belief thing, but I just feel like everything sort of just goes like everything just like opens. I feel like I'm like one with my surroundings, and I find that insanely beneficial, and I find that very comforting in a way, and just makes me very present. This way of breathing, combined with Andrew Huberman's breathing protocol, which I will go over shortly as well, has helped me sort of stay on track and not cave to like wanting to go off track and just like scroll on my phone or eat some junk food or whatever it is. Like, it's helped me sort of stay on track with my everyday life. And like, if I ever feel like I'm in a moment where I'm like might be doing something that's not gonna help me, I just stop for a moment, take some deep breaths, like just hit one of those, or even the breathing protocol that I'm going to go over. It's something like this. I hit like 2-3 of those, and like I know right away, I gotta stop this. I shouldn't be doing this. It's not gonna help me at all. Insanely powerful, insanely beneficial. I'm gonna put you ahead of everyone else who's just breathing like just breathing through their mouth, breathing really short, shallow breaths, all shaky, hunched over, bad posture. Like, it's gonna put you way ahead of them. It's gonna put you way ahead of them. It's gonna make you feel so much better about yourself. So that's why I highly emphasize it, and I highly say that's really important. And I even used it a little bit before recording this video. I've actually used it almost like every day of my life. Like when I wake up, I do that. When I go do something, when I go, try to work on this channel, when I go read, when I go try to learn anything, I always do that. Just get myself in like the mental state, get myself ready to do whatever it is. I do those breathings, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go learn something. I'm gonna go do something, whatever it is. So I want to go over the Andrew Huberman's breathing protocol. You can check out Andrew Huberman's podcast where he talks about breathing. It's like a 2-hour long episode, but it is insanely educational. This guy knows what he's talking about. Stanford professor in neuroscience. I don't know what it is, but he knows what he's talking about. And I've listened to that video, and it's just, man, every episode of his podcast is insanely educational, insanely beneficial to life, and I highly recommend you guys check them out and listen to a lot of other episodes, not just the breathing one. But going on, what is the breathing protocol? It's essentially this, just That's essentially what it is. You're going to take one inhale to where you feel like you're full, and then you're going to try to sneak in another inhale. So just go. And then you breathe that all out. Now, why? Why would you do that? It feels weird, doesn't feel natural. You know, you may have like never done that before unless you were like sniffling. But this is why you want to do that. So the way our lungs are is that they're not just two sacs of air in your chest. There's actually a bunch of like smaller sacs of air throughout our lungs, within our lungs, that are often shut off when in like the normal person way of breathing, which is just like really shallow, quick breaths, because they're not needed. And with that, the smaller sacs are used to sort of balance out the cycle of oxygen and carbon dioxide that enters and leaves our bodies. But the thing is, heightened stress levels when it comes to just stresses of everyday life or even stresses of working out, carbon dioxide in the body is increased as you're more stressed from life or from working out, and you need more oxygen to be able to flush that excess carbon dioxide out. And so this breathing technique is very beneficial because it allows more oxygen to get in, more than what would normally be expected as you go. That extra little inhale at the end, that is what helps not extinguish, but like get rid of all that extra carbon dioxide in your body. If you've taken biology before, you probably know about cellular respiration, essentially taking glucose and oxygen, you turn that into H2O, carbon dioxide, and ATP. And what that is basically is the glucose you get from eating food and the oxygen you get from breathing. Those things convert into water, into carbon dioxide, and ATP. ATP is the energy that your body uses for its muscles to actually work. H2O and carbon dioxide, that's what happens when you like breathe out. If you ever breathed on a window before and if you see it fog up, that's what it is. It's carbon dioxide and it's H2O. You do the two inhales technique, that's essentially what you're doing. You're essentially just forcing more oxygen into your body to flush out that extra carbon dioxide, which is why it's so effective when you're stressed out, when you're worried about something, to do that breathing technique, as it forces the extra carbon dioxide out and it causes you to release your stress and relieve your stress. And back to how we've sort of always known this, but we never actually like thought about it, is like as a child, you're always told, hey, if you ever get mad about something, if you ever get upset, just take some deep breaths, take like 5 deep breaths, count to 10 or whatever it was, and then take care of the situation. And that's actually like really good advice, because when you take a deep breath, you allow more oxygen to enter the body, which allows more carbon dioxide to leave the body, relieving or releasing the carbon dioxide from your system, making you less stressed, so sort of relieving the stress of a situation. If you're really sad, if you're really angry about something, it allows you to sort of calm down, gets rid of the stress in your body, and then you can actually think about it with your head and not just like with your logical mind, and not just like the sort of fight or flight, not really rational part of your mind. So how can this actually help you in your life? Well, the breathing techniques, they sort of give you a break from like the constant thinking and just flow of thoughts that go through your mind. And the deep breathing sort of gives you time to just relax and really think about the logistics of a situation. Like if you're wanting to just go snack on some junk food real quick, if you take some deep breaths, you can really think like, should I really be eating this? I really shouldn't. So I'm not going to. You know, it's insane. If you're about to just lay down in your bed and just scroll through your phone or whatever, and you sit down and you think, and you take some deep breaths and you think, should I really be doing this? Is this going to help me at all? Is it just a waste of time? Then you're not going to do it. You know, I find that this is extremely beneficial and extremely valuable to your productivity. If you want to achieve great things, even if you're just in school and you just want to do good in school, this is what you need. This is the secret. This is like the key, or like the little cheat code to be successful. It's really small. It's really insignificant. It seems like it's like some type of like pseudoscience type of thing, but it is backed up by actual science, and it is backed up by, you know, just logical thinking. And I found that it's It's helped me a lot in my life. And so I think it'll help you guys a lot in yours. It also, more than just personally, it also allows you to get into a flow state with other people, get into a flow state with any sort of social setting that you're in. If you take these deep breaths before, during, you'll feel more intact. You'll feel more like you belong. It's instead of you just taking shallow deep breaths, feeling all closed off and stuff. When you take those deep breaths, when you push out your chest, when you push out your stomach, when you're breathing, you feel a lot more present. You feel a lot like you're there. You feel like you're seen. And that is extremely powerful and extremely important to your self-improvement and to your social skills, and just increasing your social and like just strengthening your social skills. Yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found value in this video. Subscribe if you like to. But I will see you guys next time. Take care.